Denise Yezbak Moore, and today I'm going to show you how to wire wrap briolets with this really pretty little pearl accent. These can be used for earrings, you can use them as a little dangle on a bracelet, or you can use bigger stones and make pendants with them. The tools and supplies you will need to create these little briolettes are wire cutters, chain nose pliers. The brand I use is Lindstrom. Round nose pliers. You will need a top drilled stone, 3mm, these are freshwater pearls. Today I'm using 26 gauge wire just because these are gemstones and the holes are super small. You could also use 24 gauge wire if the hole in your bead is bigger. We are going to start off by cutting an approximately 8-inch length of 26 gauge wire, and I grab my top drilled teardrop shape bead and I've strung that bead, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to bend this wire up, and while I'm holding the wire on this side I'm going to bend it so it crosses. Now I'm going to come back in with my round nose pliers, finding the center, and I'm just making a slight bend on the short wire. Now I'm going to grab the long wire and I'm just going to wrap it around one time. Let's form a wrapped loop on this top, the shorter wire. So I just grab my round nose pliers, bend the wire back, move the pliers up, bend the wire towards you, move the pliers to the side, bend that wire back, and we're going to switch hands, and you can do this with your fingers if the wire is long enough, and we're going to wrap 1, 2, 3, and maybe a little tiny bit more than 3. I'm going to remove it. We're going to come over with our wire cutters. We're going to trim off that little end, and we're going to tap that wire down so there are no sharp edges. And then I'm going to come in and flatten out my top loop. I want to make sure it's nice and straight. We're now going to start wrapping our wire. So I'm going to grab it. And what I like to do when I'm wrapping, at the beginning especially, because it can move, I like to place it up against my finger. So I wrapped once and I'm just going to flip it around, place it right up against my finger. 2, 3. We're trying to stabilize this top part. Let's go one more. 4. And then just bring it around a little tiny bit to that side. Each one of these stones is going to be different depending on where the hole is drilled. So just wrap it around till you feel like the top part is stable. At this point, I'm going to come back in with my chain nose pliers, and I'm just making a tiny little bend. I just strung my 3mm freshwater pearl, and I'm just going to move it right about there, and I'm going to move that wire around, and we are going to start wrapping. I know it's not centered right now, but we can come back and fix that later. So let's make sure this is lined up properly, and now we're just kind of wrapping it gently around the top part. I'm not worried that it's not centered. I'm continuing to wrap until those little side wires are covered. Do you see how I just covered that last one? Now I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to hold it and I'm going to wrap it 1, 2, and we can come back in and fix that wire. So we're going to trim off that little end. I'm going to come back in with my chain nose pliers and tap that down. Now I want to move my loop up, and now I want to move my little pearl to the center. And there you have it, how to wire wrap this little top hold teardrop with this beautiful little freshwater pearl on the top. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe at Denise Yezbak Moore. Follow me on Instagram for daily beading inspiration at Denise Yezbak Moore. I'd love feedback. If you want to leave a comment or if you have questions, go ahead and leave a comment. I always reply back, and I love corresponding with beaders worldwide. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.